Hello and welcome to For Your Journey. I'm Andrew.
And I'm Travis.
And today we're going to talk about mission.
Impossible. So today we're going to be talking about our church's mission statement. We had just done kind of a couple episodes on the church's vision statement, and now the church's mission statement is reaching out to all people in order to teach them the gospel of Jesus Christ and to baptize them with water and the Holy Spirit.
Providing soul care and cultivating a warm fellowship in which everyone shall experience the love of God and the joy of serving Him and others.
This mission and vision statement, these placards, again, are on the walls of our congregation. It's on our website. It's all over the place. International mission and vision.
Even in the International Catechism.
In the Catechism, in the first few pages there. And of the mission, what we want to highlight today is the beginning part of the first sentence, the reaching out to all people in order to teach them the gospel of Jesus Christ.
Yeah, which, like you said kind of in the intro, it seems impossible.
It seems impossible. It's like such a vast, giant, like reaching out to all people. Like that's the most all-encompassing word there can be, like all people.
How many organizations say like our mission is involving every single person on the planet?
Yeah, usually it's a very targeted audience.
Right. Yeah.
But I think when we break it down, like we can see that it's actually not an impossible mission.
Right. Sure. But not on our own authority or strength or
never. Yeah.
Right. So this is one of those instances where reliance on God is like so mission critical.
Yeah. Because he makes all things possible.
Right.
Like through him.
Sure. So if we're going to pursue a mission like this and join God in His work, it's certainly not going to be a passive piece.
Right.
It's not going to be just coming and sitting in the pews. We sometimes make the joke like the pew potato.
Yeah, like a couch potato, pew potato, just sit there.
Right.
And if our vision, or any vision, is like where you're going, and the mission is how you get there, I think it's very important to highlight that the second part of the mission too is the first sentence starts with reaching out to all people. The second part starts with providing soul care. They're both active. They're both very actionable.
They're verbs.
Yeah. Because like that's what we should be
or something.
It's what we should be doing.
Right. Sure. Yeah. And it just requires us to just jump in and start doing the steps and relying on God and depending on His direction and guidance.
And the all people is so inclusive, like we were saying. It's not just for the people that are within the building, and it's not just for the people that are like outside the building. It's for both.
Yeah. For me, the initial impulse when I hear like, oh, we're reaching out, I'm immediately thinking like, okay, there's this circle of the church, and reaching out, so everybody's like doing their missional context.
Right.
People are talking about their faith at work and at school and all these different.
Well, outreach
places.
is a very common term in churches and any organization. To be like, we need to do outreach, and it's a common kind of almost a buzzword.
But then this also all people. It's all people in order to teach them the gospel. So also within the church walls, we're constantly encouraging each other and edifying the body by teaching the gospel to each other, which largely would center around like reconciling relationships and constantly forgiving and repenting and having healthy relationships that image the gospel.
Yeah, that's a primary like tenet of the gospel is reconciling relationships.
Right.
That's why Christ came to reconcile that relationship between man and God to begin with.
And when we get to see that reconciliation between people, it gives us that image for how God is reconciling everything with Him. Right,
and it's either we're learning something new about the gospel and love and about our neighbor and about reconciliation, or it's being reaffirmed and like strengthened through the additional knowledge that we're learning, the additional experiences, over the course of a lifetime.
Yeah. Also, kind of this thinking about reaching out within the context of the church walls helps us have a more inclusive feeling within the church. That it is that church that feels at home, like the vision talks about.
Right.
That it's that place where everybody's kind of at the family table together. That no person has this sort of isolated feeling.
Yeah, and part of that reaching out, I guess you can also make a ploy even about like reaching in. Like even within families, even like within, bloodline families and within the congregation, people that we've been with, maybe all of our lives that we've grown up with in the congregation, we can reach in to each other to help promote and strive for that reconciliation.
Right. And that that kind of shift also creates sort of a compelling community. Like it's a community people want to be a part of. Like I know if I'm a part of that community, people are going to reach out to me inside the community.
Yeah, not for just the purpose of being a part of the community, but reaching out to say, let's grow in the gospel together.
Sure. And, kind of recently in the midweek stuff, midweek curriculum, in June and July, we talked about the woman at the well.
Right.
Which is a really good image of Jesus modeling that really very perfectly. Someone that could have been ostracized for her, for her very apparent sin.
Yeah.
Someone that would be like a woman kind of marginalized in the society at that time.
Even her nationality, like there was a lot of reasons Jesus probably normally wouldn't have talked with her if he was a normal person from.
But he knows that he needs to and that he should, and that shows something about who Jesus is.
Right.
And we learn something about how we should live, that we should have that same kind of inclusivity.
Like not putting any conditions on, expressing love.
Sure. Yeah, one of the questions I found kind of interesting from that material was from June, this question 8. It says, do you identify with the Samaritan woman in that you have been judged by others? Did those feelings change how you responded in the future? So that community around her had a lot of attitudes of judgment, and Jesus kind of breaks those down. But those feelings of judgment that a person can experience in or outside of a community can really damage the way they think about a community.
Right.
She feels like I have no more place in this community. Like she chooses to go to the well at a time when other people might not be
kind of a off
huddling
time
around. Yeah. But Jesus says like I see you and I know you and like I care enough to speak with you and to reveal a message that's crucial for you.
Yeah. And it impacts her so much that like she goes back and like tells her other people like you gotta come hear this stuff.
Right. Yeah, and that's like something that our communities need to center around as Christians. Like we gotta like be driven by that love, to serve and to love others in a way that models after what Christ has done.
Right. So kind of in summarizing it all, like reaching out to all people to teach them the gospel of Jesus Christ, not just to teach them information. Yeah. Like this is what the gospel is, and these are the verses to look
here's
at.
Here's the main points.
But reaching out in love. To demonstrate love, to show inclusion and just togetherness and oneness and all moving towards a relationship with him.
Yeah. And so whatever conditions you have for that, cross them out.
I'm not going to talk to that person because like their hair is funny or like they did something to me like 20 years ago. You're not going to believe what they did and that's why I can't go reconcile now. It's like Jesus would be like, just get over that. Like look forward and come together.
Right. Yeah.
So
absolutely.
Okay. Cool. Well, thank you for joining us on this episode of For Your Journey. If you have any suggested questions or topics for discussion, you can find us on Facebook or Twitter. And once again, I'm Travis.
And I'm Andrew.
And this has been For Your Journey.